Hello students. In the last class, I started the third kingdom of five kingdom classification, that is kingdom fungi. In that, I already explained about all the general characteristic features of the kingdom fungi, and today's class I am going to explain about the reproduction of fungi. In fungi, both asexual and also sexual reproduction takes place. That means both asexual way and also sexual way they can be able to reproduce. And today's class I am going to explain about asexual reproduction, because sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction, if I try to explain both, it becomes a very big class. That's why I am breaking it, the reproduction topic, into asexual. Today I am going to explain, and tomorrow's class I am going to explain sexual reproduction. Now, let us take the reproduction. The reproduction, as I already told you just now, it takes place by asexual method and also sexual method. If you take the first one, that is asexual method, it takes place by vegetative propagation and also by sporulation. Sporulation means the process of production of spores from the parent body is called as sporulation. Of course, in some textbooks, it is also written as sporogenesis. Meaning is same. You should not confuse sporogenesis. Genesis means to produce. Spore produce. That means sporogenesis, spore production. Sporulation also means spore production. So words are different, but meaning is same. Whereas vegetative propagation, it takes place by fragmentation, or it takes place by budding, or it may takes place by fission. So these are the three methods by which the vegetative propagation it takes place. Whereas sporulation, in the name itself, spore production, that means various types of spores are produced by which new individuals are formed, and some of the spores are sporangiospores, conidiospores, oidiospores, and chlamydospores. I know the words are very difficult because first time you are listening, but once or twice if you practice, आपको आदत हो जाएगा. I'll repeat it once again because they are new words ना. That's why I'm repeating once again. Sporangiospores, conidiospores, oidiospores, chlamydospores. So these are the names of various types of spores. Whereas sexual reproduction also takes place by the spore production only. And the type of spores that are produced by sexual reproduction is oospores, ascospores, basidiospores. I repeat, oospores, ascospores, and basidiospores. So these are the various spores that are produced during sexual reproduction, whereas sporangiospores, conidiospores, oidiospores, and chlamydospores, they are the spores that are produced during asexual reproduction. So please try to understand the sporulation, that means the spore production, different types of spores that are produced in asexual reproduction, and other type of spores, that means another set of spores that are produced during sexual reproduction. The spore production is the types of spore production is different from asexual and sexual. Please don't get confused. Now let us take asexual reproduction. Today's class I am going to explain about only asexual reproduction. Okay, let us take the first one. Asexual, one second. Yes, asexual reproduction, it takes place by two methods. The first one is vegetative propagation and the second one is sporulation. Now we will take the first one, that is vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. Both words are meaning is same. Now again the vegetative propagation, it takes place by three ways. What are they? The first one is fragmentation, the second one is budding, and the third one is fission. Now let us take the first one, fragmentation. Fragmentation means, let us take, see, this is the parent body. That means this is a parent fungi. Yesterday only I told you, hope you remember, the body of the fungi, it is called as mycelium. And this mycelium, that means body of the fungi, it is made up of several filament like structures, and these filament like structures are called as hyphae. You remember all these points now. Now this is called as mycelium. Okay, this is all called as mycelium. That means the body of the fungi, where each and every filament देखो दिख रहा है ना, this individual filament, and this individual filament it is called as hyphae. Now during the fragmentation time, what happens, you know, the fragments, see, I'm sorry, the hyphae it breaks into pieces. दिख रहा है ना आपको? See, this is one fragment and this is another fragment. That means this is a parent individual. At the time of fragmentation, it breaks into small pieces like this, and each and every small piece that it develops into an individual organism, then that is called as fragmentation. Hope you understood. Again I repeat, just for safety sake, the parent fungi which is called as mycelium, because the body of the fungus it is called as a mycelium, and the mycelium it is made up of several thin filament like structures, and each filament like structure it is called as hyphae. You remember this all points because yesterday only I told you. Now at the time of fragmentation, this hyphae it breaks into pieces, and each and every piece it develops into an individual fungi, then that is called as fragmentation. And the best examples are Ascomycotina and Basidiomycotina. So these are the types of fungi which show fragmentation. Hope you understood. Now the next type of vegetative propagation is budding, and budding mostly can be seen in yeast. uh, One thing you need to understand, budding it takes place mostly in unicelled forms. What is the meaning of unicelled forms? The fungi which consisting of only one cell, then that is called as unicelled. For example, the fungi it consisting of many cells, then that is called as multicellular. But please understand, this is a most important point. 99% of the fungi are multicellular. Only the yeast is the only unicellular fungi that is present. Okay, and except yeast and remaining all the fungi individuals are multicellular. This is a most important point you need to remember. Please don't forget. If you forget, definitely you will be confused. Again I repeat, what is the important point? 99% of fungi, all are multicellular except yeast. Only yeast, that means that 1% out of 100, only yeast is the unicellular fungi. Hope you understood now. Now let us take, this is a parent cell which is called yeast. Now at the time of budding, a small finger like projection, see दिख रहा है ना, a small finger like projection that appears from the parent body. Now this starts growing, दिख रहा है ना आपको? See, this starts growing, and again it becomes, see, it even more became big, and at a point this bud it detaches itself from the parent individual, and it goes somewhere and it develops into an individual fungi, then that is called as budding. Again I repeat, during the vegetative propagation or during budding, a small bud or papilla arises from the parent individual, which grow in size eventually, and it detaches by itself from the parent body, and it will grow as an independent fungi, then that is called as budding. Hope you understood what is budding. And the best example for budding is yeast, which is technically called as Saccharomyces. Again, I repeat, Saccharomyces. Okay, this is a technical name of yeast. Whereas fission also takes place by unicelled what do you call fungi only. As I just like five minutes back only I told you, unicelled fungus means the complete body of the fungus it consisting of only one cell, then that is called as unicelled fungus. Now, unicelled fungus, as I so clearly I told, except yeast, remaining all the fungi are multicellular. Out of the fungi, if you take the fungi group, only unicellular form of fungi group is nothing but yeast. So, for budding also and fission also, for both of the processes, the example is yeast only. Okay. Now if you take the fission, now this is the yeast. Now let us take, this is a parent fungus. Now this parent fungus, first of all, this is the nucleus. Now, first of all, the nucleus it undergoes a division. See, एक ही nucleus है ना. Now it divided into two. Now, after this two formation of the two nuclei, a small constriction. See, a finger-like constriction. दिख रहे हैं ना आपको? And this small constriction it appears in the middle of the cell from the both the sides. See, this is one side and this is one another side, and this is also finger like constriction, and this is also the finger like constriction, and this both of the constriction they starts deepening, they starts traveling deep into the cell. See, they are traveling and finally it cuts the cell into two. See, दिख रहा है ना, though two identical daughter cells are produced, and this process it is called as fission. Again I repeat, the process in which the parent individual, due to the formation of a deep constriction in the middle of the cell, if it is dividing into two identical daughter cells, then that is called as fission. And both budding and also fission they will be exhibited by the unicelled fungi. And if you take the fungi group, all the fungi members are multicellular. The only unicellular fungus is nothing but yeast. So for budding also and fission also, for both of them the example is yeast only. Hope you understood, students, what is vegetative propagation. Now, as I mentioned so clearly now, hope you remember the reproduction, especially the asexual reproduction, it takes place by two ways. The first one is vegetative propagation and sporulation. Now I explained about the vegetative propagation, and now I am going to explain about the second mode of reproduction, the second mode of asexual reproduction, that is nothing but sporulation. Yes, this is sporulation. Sporulation basically means the process of production of spores from the parent individual. That process it is called as sporulation, and some textbooks may, instead of sporulation, they will give the other name called as sporogenesis. Only words are different, but meaning is same. What is the meaning? The process of the production of spores from the parent individual is called as sporulation. And these spores are produced by mitotic division. Mitotic division means equal division. That means the parent individual it divides exactly equally, and it is producing two identical daughter individuals, then that is called as mitosis. Hope you understood. Still, if you have any confusions, definitely you please ask me. I will explain it again. Mitotic division means if the parent individual it is dividing to produce two exactly identical daughter individuals, then that is called as mitotic division. Now sporulation it takes place by various production of spores. The first type of spores is nothing but sporangiospores. First of all, we will discuss about what is sporangiospores, and then we will discuss about various types of sporangiospores. Now please listen a little carefully, because you if you don't understand this sporangiospores, rest of the spores also if you don't understand, so please listen attentively. Now yesterday also and today also I told you the body of the fungus it is called as mycelium, and mycelium consisting of small filament like structure, and this filament like structure is called as hyphae. Now if you take the sporangiospore formation, now this is hyphae है ना. Now at the tip of the hyphae, this is a tip, आपको दिख रहा है ना, this is a tip. At the tip of the hyphae it produce a sac like structure, दिख रहा है ना, this is a sac like structure. Where it is produced, tell me. This is a sac like structure, it is produced at the tip of the hyphae. Understood na? And this is sac like structure which is produced at the tip of the hyphae, it is called as sporangium. दिख रहे हैं ना आपको? You are following my cursor na? This is the arrow mark. If you follow, this is called as sporangium, and this sporangium means the sac-like structure which is formed at the tip of the hyphae, that is called as sporangium. इधर तक समझ में है ना? Now this sporangium it produces various spores. दिख रहे हैं ना? This round bodies आपको दिख रहा है ना, क्लियरली दिख रहे हैं. So these round bodies which are formed endogenously. See, I used one very important new word. अभी तक I think so you don't know this word, endogenously. What is the meaning of endogenously? see, you try to break this word, you will clearly understand. Endo, what is the meaning of endo? Within, inside. Geniusly, what is the meaning of geniusly? Genesis, that means produced. So endogeneously means what? Inside produced, that means within the sporangium only. See, all the spores are present within the sporangium only na? So within the sporangium only the spores are produced. As the spores are produced within, that means inside the sporangium itself, it is called as endogenous spore formation. Hope you understood now. I'll repeat just for safety sake. Endogenous means within the same structure, that means within the same sac-like structure called sporangium, the spores are produced, and the process of the production of the spores within the sporangium itself, then that is called as endogenous spore production. Now you understood now. Now, these spores are called as sporangiospores because they are produced in sporangium. Na? As they are produced in the sporangium, they are called as sporangiospores. Now you understood, I think so. I'll repeat just for safety sake. I'll repeat these points just once. Just a very short recap I'll take. Now, the body of the fungus is called as mycelium, and the mycelium, it is again made up of these thin filaments, and these thin filaments are called as hyphae. At the time of the sporangiospore production, the tip of the hyphae, it produces the sac-like structure, and this sac-like structure which is produced at the tip of the hyphae, it is called as sporangium. Now, the sporangium endogenously, it produces various number of spores, and these spores are called as sporangiospores. Why the name sporangiospores? Because they are produced in the sac-like structure called sporangium. The name given as sporangiospores. Now you understood na? Hope you understood so clearly. Now, at the time of dispersal, what is the meaning of dispersal? When they are coming out, if they are coming out, that process of coming out, it is called as a dispersal. Now this is sporangium, which is a sac-like structure, it ruptures. What is the meaning of rupture? It breaks. So by the rupturing of the sporangia, all these sporangiospores, they comes out, and by wind or water they will travel, and wherever they reach, whenever they get favorable conditions, each and every sporangiospore, it germinates to produce one individual fungus. Then that is called as sporangiospore formation. Hope you understood now. Now, again, the sporangiospores are of two types. What are they? The first one is zoospore, and the second one is aplanospore. What is the meaning of zoospores? Very, very simple, simple point. Just you need to understand. That's it. If the sporangium, it is producing the sporangiospores with the help of by producing flagella. That means these sporangiospores, they consisting of flagella. Because they consisting of flagella, they can be able to move by themselves. So the flagellated motile sporangiospores, they are called as zoospores, whereas aplonospores exactly opposite. You right, ये आपको समझ में आएगा. What is exactly opposite? They are non-flagellated, that means they don't have any flagella, so that they are non-motile, that means they can't be able to move by themselves. Then that is called as aplonospores. Again I repeat, sporangiospores are of two types. One, which can be able to move by themselves, and second one, which cannot be able to move by themselves. If they can be able to move by themselves with the help of flagella, then that is called as zoospores. If they cannot be able to move by themselves due to the absence of flagella, then they are called as aplanospores. So these are the two types of sporangiospores. The first one is a zoospore, and the second one is aplanospore. Students, are you observing na? I am repeating the words twice, not once. Why? Because these are all new words. That's why while I'm pronunciating two, three times, I think you will remember it. You will recognize and remember it so easily. That's why one word I am repeating twice and thrice. Hope you understood what is my intention. Okay. Let us take the second type of spores. Now, the second type of spores, they are called as conidiospores. Conidiospores means, let us take, this is the body of the fungi, and the body of the fungi it is called as mycelium, and this body it is composed of several filament like structures, they are called as hyphae. Now this is the tip of the hyphae. At the tip of the hyphae you can be able to see this linearly, see like sun rays जैसे दिख रहे हैं ना, see ऐसा, and these sun rays like structures they are appears, and they are called as conidiophores. You understood? Huh? They are called as conidiophores. And on the conidiophores, you can be able to see the formation of round structures. They can green color. If I'm 100% correct. This is yellow colored and this is green colored. And this green colored round structures they are called as conidiospores. Students, you try to take little time and try to observe the difference between sporangiospores and conidiospores. I think clearly, I think 90% of the students they must have understood. Again, I will show, then you will clearly understand. Now the spores are formed within the sac-like structure. So it is called as endogenously. है ना? Now see conidiospores. Now you try to understand what am I trying to tell you? What I am trying to tell you? See, these spores are produced outside the body. That's why conidiospores are exogenously formed, whereas the sporangiospores are endogenously formed. That means they are produced within the sporangium, whereas they are produced outside the conidiospore. I'm sorry, conidiophore. Understanding it? So I'll repeat once again. The body of the fungus it is called as mycelium, and mycelium it is made up of several filament like structure, and this filament like structure called as hypha, and this hypha at the tip it produces sun ray like structures. See देख रहे हैं ना sun rays जैसे, and these sun ray like structures called as conidiophores, and this conidiophores they produce the rounded structures, and each round like structure it is called as conidiospore. Now we understood now, and the best examples are penicillin, and that means penicillium and aspergillus. Okay, and the examples for this rhizopus. I'm sorry, I'm really very sorry. I forgot to explain the example for the sporangiospores. Sporangiospores are produced in rhizopus. दिख रहा है ना आपको clearly? Now this is a hyphae, and at the tip it is producing the sporangium, and inside the sporangium various several sporangiospores are produced, and these sporangiospores are dispersed by the breakage. See, it is break, earlier it is a sac like structure, now this is sac like structure it is bursted because of the rupture, and all the sporangiospores are released, and each and every sporangiospore it undergoing germination, and by the germination again it is producing hyphae. So it is a cycle like life cycle. Okay, this is a cyclic what I call living structure. Okay, now this conidiospores, see this also this is a hyphae, and this hyphae it is producing this conidiophores, and this conidiophores are producing this conidiospores which are simply called as conidia, and this conidia it is undergoing germination, and again it is producing the hyphae, and again it is producing the complete body. Like that, this is a cyclic living form. Okay, cyclic life form. Okay, now the third type of spores, that is nothing but oidiospores. Oidiospores are non-motile. That means they cannot be able to move by themselves, and they are thin-walled spores. And these mycelium, see, mycelium means, please don't ask me again. Mycelium means the body of the fungi it is called as a mycelium, which is made up of several filaments called as hyphae. Now, at the time of oidiospore formation, these thallus, that means the body of the fungus, it breaks into small pieces. दिख रहे हैं ना? It is breaking into small pieces, and each and every piece it develops into a round structure. These round structures, see this is round only, these round or oval structures called as oidea or oidiospores. You can write anything, oidea or oidiospores, and these oidea they move to some other places, understanding it, by wind or water, and they immediately gives rise to the new what I call body of the fungus called as mycelium. Then that is called as oidiospores. Hope you understood what is the meaning of oidiospores. And the last type of spores, and today I am stopping today's class with this last spore, that is called as chlamydospores. Chlamydospores. If you take chlamydospores, chlamydospores are produced during unfavorable conditions. This is a very important point what you need to understand. Chlamydospores are the spores which are produced during unfavorable conditions. What is the meaning of unfavorable conditions? For example, if the temperature is too high or food is not available, and these type of conditions are called as unfavorable conditions. So during unfavorable conditions, the fungal body, it is called as mycelium. It produces thick walled structures. See, very thick walled structures. See, both thick, they are very thick. So this thick walled structures, and these thick walled structures are called as chlamydospores. And these chlamydospores, they may be produced at the tip of the hyphae. If they are produced at the tip of the hyphae, then they are called as terminal chlamydospores. Whereas sometimes these chlamydospores are produced within the hyphae, that means in the middle of the hyphae. If it is produced in the middle of the hyphae, then that is called as intercalary chlamydospores. Hope you understood. Again, I'll repeat: chlamydospores, if they are produced at the tip of the hyphae, then they are called as terminal chlamydospore. Whereas if the chlamydospore, it is produced in the hyphae, that means in the middle of the hyphae, then that is called as intercalary chlamydospore. Hope you understood. Now this chlamydospore automatically detaches. See, automatically it is detaching from the parent body, that means parent mycelium, and it wait, that means even 1 day or even 10 days or even 1 month also, they will wait till the favorable condition come. And after favorable conditions come, then these chlamydospores, they germinate to produce the hyphae. Then that is called as chlamydospores. Now you understood, I think so. And the examples are Rhizopus and Ostilago, like that. There are so many examples are there. So these are the examples for chlamydospores. Hope you understood. I'm really sorry. And for oidospores, I forgot to tell you the example, Rhizopus. Okay, Rhizopus is an example for oidiospore, and this Rhizopus and Ostilago, and these are the examples for chlamydospores. Now you will definitely get one confusion, sir. One example only you are telling for 2-3 times. See, based on their condition, for example, same rice only you are cooking, but based upon your own choices, some they make fried rice, some they make biryani, or some they make jeera rice, or some they make normal boiled rice, like that. Based on the wish of the organism, they produces different types of spores. Very simple. Okay, so don't get confused. Same example, it is coming under chlamydospores also, oidiospores also, sporangiospores also. What is this? Is a sochna mat. It depends upon the choice of the hyphae. If it wanted to produce chlamydospores during unfavorable conditions, it produces chlamydospores. But the same Rhizopus, during favorable conditions, it may produce oidiospores, or it may be produced this sporangiospores also. So that all depends upon which type of condition it is present and its own choice. So please don't get confused. Okay, so this is all about the asexual reproduction of fungus. Hope you understood, and tomorrow I will come up with a new topic, that is sexual reproduction of the fungus. Hope you understood today's class, but if you have any single doubt, please ask me. I'll definitely answer you back. Thank you so much.